Hey everybody, how's it going? September 15th, 2023. It's a Friday, and I know people are looking forward to an autumn weekend, right? I'm in Colorado. This is the first weekend we get to go up into the mountains and see the wonderful aspens turning golden, and you see these golden veins through the mountains. Amazing. So let me tell you about today's discussion. Beyond black and white, navigating fixed and growth mindsets. To me, this is an important topic, and it's a really important topic if you want to go build yourself a successful business. You know, often I envy people that have dogma that they just tie into and hold on to. If you're strongly fundamental in your religious beliefs, if you're strongly attached to a political position and approach, a party, things like that, uh, everything like that comes with very, very direct rules. This is the way it is to be within that way of thinking, and those guidelines help direct your approach. I think of those as absolutes. So in business, if you're of any type of thinker, you get into business and you have your beliefs. And hey, I have spoken before about the idea that you need to know what you believe in. Because if you don't know what you believe in, how do you make decisions? If you don't have something to make that decision off of, to bounce off of. Well, in a sense, that's an absolute, right? I'm absolutely saying you need to know what you believe in. At the same time, I'm also saying that although I envy those people that are absolutely clear in what they believe in and the decisions they make are already made by the rules of that, maybe religion, maybe philosophy, whatever it may be, I'm saying there's another area in between the two, and I call that reality. And we build organizations and we manage business and we try to get to our dream based upon our reality, while knowing that there is a structure that has to be followed, which are somewhat what I call the conventions of business. But at the same time, within all of this, there are these what I'll just refer to as gray areas that challenge you. They challenge you to decide who you are and what you are. So let me give you some experience. When I build a business, one of the basic premises that I am absolute in my belief is that I want to meet whatever promise I have made to my market, to my customer. It's critical to me that I do that I build an organization that can do that. That to me is an absolute. But getting there requires a lot of decisions that challenge the premise and the absolute that I want to get to. So, am I always unhappy when I fail? Am I happy enough just because I'm on the journey to get to it? You know, there are rarely months that go by in my business where I haven't let an employee down, where I haven't let a customer down, whether it's because of my own behavior, my organization's behavior, the hard work that we've done and it didn't pay off and it didn't meet the promise that we made. And when I'm in that position, it's very tough for me to embrace that, to feel okay about it, because I have this absolute that I'm always going to meet promises that I make, knowing that I fail. So my gray area thinking, I guess, is what I would say, is that And this is the piece that keeps me going, which is, yes, I have an absolute, but life is a continuum. And that as long each day as it's implied in my activity, in our organization's activity, that we are striving for that, that is our intentional approach, then I accept it. I accept that we won't have perfection in spite of living with an absolute. You know, I can think of many instances to where I've been challenged with this. When you begin a company, there are certain decisions that you should make. One of those decisions is, should I be what I refer to as a boutique operation? Is my goal to control the market that I'm going to? Is my goal to become the leader and be an enterprise level company? Where does my goal sit? And is that an absolute when I choose it? So the question is this: if I build a boutique company and I say, I'm not interested in owning the world, I'm interested in doing good works for the people I do, and as long as I'm making a living and creating some value, then I'm good. Is it okay to change from that absolute to, at some point, change your mind and say, you know what, I want to go control the world? When I once built a company that was financially in trouble, we were in a terrible position. The only absolute I had was to live to fight another day. I can assure you that I never had a goal in mind to be great. I never made any decision that I will build this to sell it, the company, that I will be boutique or enterprise. I only had one absolute. How do I live to fight another day? And I know some of you have been in that position too. Many in your lives, whether you are running a business or even working for a business, those are some of the present thoughts that you go through. So as I began to examine how far fighting to live another day took me, I began to realize that I had more customers along the way. I still was struggling. I still had problems. But while I'm living hard to fight another day, people started to recognize the expanse of our business. And they were talking to me about, what are our plans? Where are we going? Aren't we great? And I had a very hard time converting what people were seeing me as to what I saw myself as, which was just barely surviving, living in fear, worrying that I couldn't make payroll, couldn't pay my taxes, couldn't do anything well, or couldn't even meet a promise if I made it, which I had to make to get more customers, but feared that I would fail in spite of that. So as people began to come to me, somebody came to me one day and said, hey, Steve, what's your exit strategy? And I said, I don't have an exit strategy. Why would I have an exit strategy? I can't pay my bills. I have debt. I'm not making money. How can I have an exit strategy? And he said, Steve, an absolute in business is everybody must have an exit strategy. If you don't build your business for exit, you're going to miss your window of optimizing the financial value that you face. And I absolutely said, I don't build a business that way. And he said, absolutely, that's a mistake. So I began to continue to work to live to fight another day, and we continued to grow, and more people began to recognize our success, except for me. And this kept weighing on me. What is my exit strategy? What I cannot wait to get to a point to where I have one. But I have to get to that point. I have to feel successful myself. My absolute rule was I cannot think about an exit strategy until I have a feeling that we're worth buying, worth selling, reasonable in my way of thinking. Well, what happened exactly the way the guy said. The first window that appeared to where we could sell our company went right over my head. I missed it, and literally missed tens of millions of dollars that I just couldn't see it. I didn't feel we were there yet. It wasn't that I was specifically heading to a target. It's one situation where I took an absolute that I was told is a necessary ingredient, and I didn't do it. Another being, as I refer to, am I going to be a boutique company, a growth company? What exactly am I going to be? And, I ponder this all the time. Today I ponder it too. I don't always know what my rules of engagement are. What I do know is what I believe in. So I take what I believe in, and every time I face a situation, I match what I believe in with the long-term place I want to get to. And I take within that the strategies that we have built. And what I do with those strategies is I allow those to change. I am sure of what I believe in. I am sure of where I want to get to. But within it, the strategies that I run my business with, I give some flexibility to. Because if I am so adamant about everything I put in place as the only way to do it, the absolute way to do it, I cannot be successful. You cannot be successful. Most of you will face moments where you're going to be challenged by what you're doing not working. And within the context of that, if you stay with what you have, if you're absolutely believe in your fundamentals and you never change, you're reducing the percentage of opportunities that you have to use change as a fundamental way to evolve and to improve. So with that, look, this does not have to be a long conversation today, but it's important to take this away from it. And I'll repeat it. I've just said it. Take it one last time. Do know what you believe in. Think it through. Write it down. Have a sense of what your guidelines are, your fundamentals. Know it. Believe in what you believe in. Separate from that, decide where you want your business to be. How do you get there? Is a different discussion. How you get there is your strategy, and how you get there can change. Follow your strategy, make your strategy based on things you believe in with the opportunity to get to where you're going, but recognize that that whole layer should always have some flexibility to it. So with that, look, I'm going to let you go. It's a short 15-minute today. I'm really looking forward to the future in talking about some of the deeper things that we need to think about in business. Today I was speaking with my producer, and I'm going to bring a guest onto this show where we can talk about our anxieties and our insecurities and how they help us get to be where we want to go and to be better at it. So with that, you all have a good weekend. Thanks for listening, and I hope that you enjoy the fall like I'm going to. Take care. Bye.